Good evening and welcome to this edition of Versus. It's episode 6 on this Thursday night, October 3rd, 2024. And I'm your host, Jason DeCanio. I was like, where am I? I'm in a darkened studio with background and all the fun stuff. But we're glad that you're with us here for another edition. And hopefully you've been voting very well on our program with the past 5 episodes. We have some numbers to share with you, and I'll share those numbers with you at the end of this program. Tonight, we have 2 more interesting, I would say contrasting companies we're going to be looking at. We're going to break away from food for a little bit. I know you're just dying to try to see us contrast 2 interesting companies, and we've got both of them tonight. And they're classic consoles companies. They've been around for almost 40 plus years. In fact, one of them's been around 50 years. The other one's been around 40 years with a 10-year difference, but they're still fun to play. And to this day, they are always going to be retro games in our books. And even the new generation is taking a crack at them. What am I talking about? Well, we're pitting Atari versus Colecovision tonight on Versus, and we'll be back with a look at the history of Atari right after this.
Instant waxed shine as you dust. You've been hearing things like that for years. But is waxing all that instant when you only need to dust? Watch.
With spray wax, you have all this rubbing.
But there's no wax in Endust. It just coats your cloth with tiny beads that trap dust.
You just wipe, and it brings back the shine. Use wax when you have to, sure. But every time you dust, use Endust. It gets rid of dust in half the time of waxing.
Sausages.
Dogs in search of the ideal snack.
Sausages.
What is that special treat?
Sausages.
We know they love to snitch a snack. We know they love to sneak a sausage, so...
Sausages.
That's it. Sausage-style snacks.
Sausages.
Made with meat, a hearty taste, a healthy chew, and voila, the ideal snack.
Sausages.
But what will we call them?
Sausages.
Doggy snacks?
Sausages.
Little saucies?
Sausages.
Sausages. New kennel ration, snossages? Scrumptious sausage-style snacks for dogs.
If you use an automatic toilet bowl cleaner that doesn't clean well enough or last long enough, it's like flushing your good money down the drain. Try my 2000 flushes. It has chlorine bleach, the same chemical used to keep swimming pools clean. It works the same way in your toilet bowl. And it works up to 4 months. It really does. With 2000 flushes, it's not your money that goes down the drain, it's the stains. So why buy anything else?
Keebler presents the appealing taste of baked potato skins in a crunchy chip.
Potato skins got baked potato appeal because they're made with potatoes and skins that are real.
The Keebler elves make potato skin snack chips with real potatoes and skins.
Cheddar cheese and bacon, sour cream and chives, tasty baked potato.
And they finally got barbecue flavor too.
They're made with potatoes and skins that are real. Potato skins from Keebler, baked potato appeal.
New family members mean new responsibilities and new needs for life and health insurance protection. Why not drop in on your MetLife representative to help you figure out what's right for you and your family? Get Met. It pays.
So what's it like up there? I mean, what do you eat?
Great burgers from Roy's.
Roy Rogers?
This is heaven. This quarter-pound cheeseburger combo with large fries and medium soft drink is just $2.99.
Great deal. But you don't actually cook anything?
You must be thinking of the other place.
Oh, I hate this place!
Welcome back to Versus. Episode 6 is ready to go with the first look at Atari on this contrasting of 2 video game companies that were at each other's throats during the video game wars. And the first one, of course, is Atari. We'll be looking at it right now. Atari is a brand name that has been owned by several entities since its inception in 1972. It is currently owned by French holding company Atari SA, formerly Infogrames. The original Atari Inc., founded in Sunnyvale, California, United States in 1972 by Nolan Bushnell and Ted DeBaney, was a pioneer in arcade games, home video game consoles, and home computers. The company's products, such as Pong and the Atari 2600, helped define the electronic entertainment industry from the 70s to the mid-80s. Then in 1984, as a result of the video game crash of 1983, the assets of the home console and computer divisions of the original Atari Inc. were sold off to Jack Trammell's Trammell Technology Ltd., which then renamed itself to Atari Corporation, while the remaining part of Atari Inc. was renamed Atari Games Inc. Then in early 1985, Warner established a new corporation jointly with Namco, subsequently named Atari Games Corporation, which took control of Atari's coin-operated games division. The rights to Atari Inc.'s game properties were shared between the two companies, Atari Corporation receiving the trademarks and the home rights, while Atari Games receiving the rights to use the logo and brand name with the appended text games on arcade products. Then in 1996, Atari Corporation reversed merged the disk drive manufacturer JT Storage and effectively perished. Then in 1998, Hasbro Interactive, part of the toy company Hasbro, acquired all Atari Corporation-related properties from JTS as part of the subsidiary, which it then renamed to Atari Interactive. Meanwhile, Atari Games was acquired by Midway Games in 1996 and effectively retired the Atari name on arcades by 2000 to avoid public confusion with Hasbro's Atari home releases. Infogrames Entertainment, or IESA, the precursor of the present-day Atari SA, became the new owner of the Atari brand after buying Hasbro Interactive in 2001, renaming it Infogrames Interactive, which intermittently published Atari branded home titles. In 2003, it remained a division Atari Interactive, and another IESA division called Infogrames Inc., which was founded as GT Interactive, changed its name to Atari Inc. the same year, licensing the Atari name and logo from its fellow subsidiary. In 2008, IESA completed its acquisition of Atari Inc.'s outstanding stock, making it a wholly owned subsidiary. Now, IESA renamed itself Atari SA in 2009, which remains the status quo. It sought bankruptcy protection under French law in 2013. On the other hand, Atari's post-1984 arcade titles is the property of Warner Brothers Games since receiving the assets following Midway's bankruptcy in 2009. And as of 2023, the current Atari's focus is on video games, consumer hardware, licensing, and blockchain. And there you have it. Just with that bit of information, the history of Atari. We'll be back with a look then at Colecovision right after this.
Tire Kingdom, tires, 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 tires. If tires are what you need, the lowest price is guaranteed. At Tire Kingdom, the best tires at the best price. No hassle service, and we always treat you nice. Ooh, Tire Kingdom, tires, 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 tires.
It's yum yum fun that is cool and clean, and its name is the Snoopy Snow Cone Machine. You put ice cubes in and get a snow cone out. This is fun. Yum yum fun is what it's all about.
Some assembly required, and you mix the punch flavor.
It's yummy, Snoopy. It's yum yum fun that is cool and clean, and its name is the Snoopy Snow Cone Machine.
Snoopy Snow Cone Machine comes with everything you see here from Hasbro.
So refreshing. pomento, quinto green, solo, save us,
Today you need an oil this good. You need Quaker State. When your engine's this new, you gotta protect your investment. You need an oil this good.
When your engine's this old, it needs extra care. You need an oil this good.
Small engines work so hard, they demand an oil this good.
These motor oils are refined exclusively from Pennsylvania grade crude. Quaker State is so good, it's America's best-selling motor oil. New cars.
Old cars.
Small cars.
Today you need Quaker State. You need an oil this good.
Hey, Herbert Fisher. Have you met Herb Grant?
Herb Grant, Tacoma.
Herb's in the plumbing business.
Yeah, I'm all backed up.
Herb, you know these bums? Herb Riddick, Herb Kaplan.
Hi.
So, the wife and kids are good?
Herb Jr.'s almost 12.
Whoa, next thing you know, there'll be a Herbert Jr. Jr.
If it's out there, it's in here. The 9X Yellow Pages. Why would anyone need another?
What does it feel like to play, Simon? You gotta look! Listen! Remember! You gotta react! Repeat the sounds and colors. Think fast! What does it feel like to play, Simon?
Intense.
Simon from Milton Bradley, the challenge intensified to the max.
It's time now to look at Colecovision, which started in 1932 as the Connecticut Leather Company. The business supplied leather and shoe findings, the suppliers and paraphernalia of a shoe repair shop to shoe repairers. And then in 1938, the company began selling rubber footwear. Now, during World War II, demand for the company's supplies increased, and by the end of the war, the company was larger and had expanded into new and used shoe machinery, hat cleaning equipment, and marble shoe shine stands. Well, by the 1950s, thanks to Maurice Greenberg's son, Leonard Greenberg, the company had diversified further and was making leather lacing and leathercraft kits. 1954, as the New York Toy Fair, the leather moccasin kit was selected as a child guidance prestige toy, and Connecticut Leather Company decided to commit to the toy business in 1956. Leonard read about the emerging technology of vacuum-formed plastic, and the company adopted this, and it became increasingly successful, producing a wide variety of plastic toys and wading pools. Then in 1961, the leather and shoe findings portion of the business was sold, and Connecticut Leather Company became Coleco Industries. January 9th, 1962, Coleco went public, offering 120,000 shares of stock at $5 a share. In the 60s and 63, the company acquired the Kestrel Corporation of Springfield, Massachusetts, a manufacturer of inflatable vinyl pools and toys. This led to Coleco becoming the largest manufacturer of above-ground swimming pools in the world. 66, they went on to, Leonard persuaded his brother Arnold Greenberg to join the company. Then in the 70s, they had some financial difficulties. Then in the late 70s, they went to handheld games, but Colecovision, that's where they really took it to the max. They returned to the video game console market in 1982 with the launch of ColecoVision. The system was quite popular and more powerful than the Atari 2600 and came bundled with a copy of Donkey Kong. Now, the console sold 560,000 units in 1982. I owned one of them myself. Coleco also hedged its best on video games by introducing a line of ROM cartridges for the Atari 2600 and Intellivision, selling 6 million cartridges for both systems, along with 2 million sold for the ColecoVision, for a total of 8 million cartridges sold in 1982. It also introduced the Coleco Gemini, a clone of the popular Atari 2600, which came bundled with a copy of Donkey Kong. When the video game business began to implode in 1983, it seemed clear that the video game consoles were being supplanted by home computers. Bob Greenberg, son of Leonard Greenberg and nephew of Arnold Greenberg, left Microsoft, where he had been working as a program developer at the time, to assist in Coleco's entry into this market. Coleco's strategy was to introduce the Coleco Atom home computer, both as a standalone system and as an expansion module to the ColecoVision. the effort failed, and in part because atoms were often unreliable due to being released with critical bugs, and in part because the computer's release coincided with the home computer industry crashing. Coleco withdrew from electronics early in 1985. A little more history about ColecoVision that I want to touch on here. Let's actually go to it. It's the second generation home video game console. The console offered a closer experience to more powerful arcade video games compared to competitors such as the Atari 2600 and the Intellivision. And the initial catalog of 12 games on ROM cartridge included the first home version of Nintendo's Donkey Kong as the pack-in game. There are approximately 136 games were published between 82 and 84, including Sega's Zaxxon, and some ports of lesser-known arcade games that found a larger audience on the console, such as Ladybug, Cosmic Avenger, and Venture. Coleco released a series of hardware add-ons and special controllers to expand the capabilities of the console. Expansion Module 1 allowed the system to play Atari 2600 cartridges. A later module converted ColecoVision into the Coleco Atom home computer. There was also one with a steering wheel to play a lot of the racing games. But ColecoVision was discontinued in 85 when Coleco withdrew from the video game market. They had already contemplated shifting focus to their Cabbage Patch Kids success after the costly failure of the Coleco Atom home computer. So Coleco entered the video game market in 76, and during the dedicated home console period with their line of Telstar consoles. And when that market became oversaturated over the next few years, the company nearly went bankrupt, but found a successful product through handheld electronic games with products that beat out those of the current market leader, Mattel. They also developed a line of miniaturized tabletop arcade video games with licensed rights from arcade game makers, including Sega, Bally, Midway, and Nintendo. Coleco was able to survive on sales of their electronic games through to 1982, but that market itself began to wane, and Coleco President Arnold Greenberg was still interested in producing a home video game console. Thus, the ColecoVision was born. And so the story goes on from there, as you can see. So with all of that, just that history alone, we want you to definitely vote on what you think is the better of the two consoles. Now, what we're going to do before we end our program is take you over to the YouTube page to show you some of the back voting results from the last 5 episodes. We're going to do that right now. Let's go ahead and stop the screen, present the new material to you, bring it up here, and whoops, there we go. Okay, let me move this over here so I can scroll it. Okay, these are the results from the last 5 episodes. First off, we had from Tuesday's October 1st episode, Jersey Mike's versus Jimmy John's. So far, Jersey Mike's, with the total of 6 votes so far, has Jersey Mike's with a 67-33 lead. That's pretty good. You all like Jersey Mike's? I was one of them. Okay, now episode 4, Dunkin' Donuts versus Krispy Kreme. So far, Krispy Kreme has the upper hand with 7 votes in there, 57-43. Pizza Hut overtakes Domino's by a lot. 9 votes. You all like Pizza Hut. McDonald's versus Burger King. So far, McDonald's has the upper hand, 7 votes in. And our first episode has a 50-50 split with 4 votes, Coca-Cola and Pepsi. And that was our first show on 3 weeks ago. So we've been on here for 3 weeks, folks. And that's a look at it. And we appreciate you definitely tuning in and voting on your favorite, what do you call it, topic of interest, the contrast here, because we want you to participate as much as possible. All right, next week on the program, episode 7 comes back, and we'll look at 2 more great topics of interest. What will they be? You'll just have to tune in and to find out what's going on. We're here every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 o'clock. And of course, our shows are all pre-recorded now due to other instances of situations. In the meantime, though, we hope that you'll watch this show from beginning to end. Thank you very much. Remember, be honest, be real, And keep it simple, stupid. Kiss. Have a good night. We'll see you on Tuesday. Bye for now.